Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Nayli Nabihah Binti Suboh. My student ID is 2021-609278. This video is dedicated to my lecturer, Dr. Suraya Masrum, and in this video I would like to explain about an inventory management system that involves Arraylist and Linkedlist. So this is my application in BlueJ. I have developed an application for electronic product that can store, delete, it can also find or search and display the set of items. Besides that, it can also do a calculation to calculate the sum, the average, the mean, and the max value of the electronic product. Not only that, it also can copy the data from Arraylist to Linkedlist. In this application, I have 4 classes. The first class is electronic main, which is the main class. The second class is electronic, which is an object class. The third class is node, and in this class, for your information, there is empty list exception class. And move to the last class is linked list. Now let's take a look at the electronic code class. In the electronic class, there are 5 attributes that I have declared. The first attribute is code, which is the product code. The second attribute is name. The third attribute is brand. The fourth attribute is price. And the last attribute, which is the fifth attribute, is the quantity, which is it stands for the quantity in stock. In this class, I have created a few methods. So the first method is the normal constructor. The function of this method is when the user enter or input data in the main application, the data will be assigned to this attribute. Next method is accessor method. The function of this method is to return the value of the attribute. For example, it will return the code, the name, brand, price, and quantity. Move to the next method, which is rotator method. The function of this method is to set the attribute value for the code, the name, brand, price, and the quantity. And the last method in electronic class is toString method. The function of toString method is to print or display the object details. That is about electronics class. Now let's take a look at the next classes, which is the class node. In the class node, I have declared 3 attributes. The first attribute is data, the second attribute is next, and the third attribute is name, which is it used for the empty list exception. In the class node, I have declared a few of methods. So this is the default constructor method. This is the normal constructor method. This is a method to get the data, name get object. This is a method to get the next data, name get next. This is a method to update the data, name set data. I have mentioned earlier that in the class node, there is another class in it, which is empty list exception. The function of the class is when the linked list is empty, it will display this message. For example, the linked list is empty. This is about the class node. Now we are moving to the next class, which is the linked list class. In this class, I have declared several attributes. So the first attribute is private node first. First is for the first objects, and then I also declare private node last, which is last object, and I also declare an attribute name current. And for the empty list exception, I declare an attribute name name. In this class, I have created a lot of methods. So this is the method of default linked list class method. This is the normal constructor method. This is the method to check whether is the linked list is empty. So when the first equal to nulls, then it will return true. So that means the linked list is empty. This is a method to return the number of elements in list, which means it will return the size of linked list. This is a method to add the new object at the front of the linked list. This is a method to add a new object at the back of linked list. So we have insert at front and insert at back. Enough with add method. So now we move to the remove methods. There are 3 remove methods. So the first remove method is remove from front. So the method is to remove the first element in the linked list. The second remove method is remove from back. The method is to remove the last element in the linked list. And the last remove method, which is the third, is remove add. So the method is to remove the specified element in the linked list. Enough with remove method. So now we move to the return method. So there are 4 return methods. The first return method is get first. This method is to return the first element in the linked list. The second return method is get next. This method is to return the next element in the linked list. The third return method is get last. This method is to return the last element in the linked list. And the last return method, which is the fourth, is get method to return the specified element in the linked list. So the last method in the linked list class is the method print. This method is to print out the linked list detail. So that is about the linked list class. Now I would like to explain the last part of the application, which is the electronic main class. In this class, I have imported 3 different things. The first thing is scanner, so that the user can input data. And then the second thing is Arraylist, so that I don't need to create a class for Arraylist. I just import it from the Java library. And the last thing that I import is JOption pane, so that I can use the show message dialog output. In the main class, the first thing I do is to create the scanner object so that the user can input data. And then I create 2 list objects, which is the first one is Arraylist and the list name is device list. The second one is linked list and the list name is hardware list. And then I also declare electronic class object, which is as device and hardware. Device for the array list, hardware for the linked list. And then I also declare object class, obj and obj2. This is for the casting. And then the program will pop up message dialog, say this message, which is welcome to Electronic Hub's inventory management system. And then another show message dialog will pop up that say please choose next action. After that, the program will display the menu of the action code from 1 until 8, so the user can enter the action code based on this menu. And then it will do the while loop here, while go equal to y. So the loop will keep repeating until the user enter n, which is represent as no. In the while loop, the first thing it will do is ask the user, please enter action code. So the user need to choose either one from 1 until 8. So for the action 1, to add items into electronic device list, which is for the array list, the first thing is the program will ask the user how many items that it want to add into the electronic device. So the user need to enter the number, and then it will do the for loop based on the size entered by the user. And then in the for loop, it will ask the user to enter the code, the name, the brand, price, and the quantity in stock. And then it will pass or add the data entered by the user into the electronics class. And then I use add method to add the data entered by the user into the array list. After the loop of for stop, the program will display a message say item successfully add in the electronic device list. And then the program will ask the user, would you like to make more action or not? If the user enter yes, and then the program will repeat the while loop again. And then if the user enter no, then the program will stop. Now we move to the action number 2. This action is to delete item from electronic device list. In this action, the program will ask the user to enter the index number of electronic device that you would like to delete. So in this, I use the remove method so that it can remove the specified index in the array list. After that, the program will display message, this item has been removed from the electronic device list. And then the program will ask the user the same thing, would you like to make more action? Yes or no? And now we move to the action number 3, which is to add items into the computer hardware list. Okay, this is for the linked list, and the action number 1 is for the array list. Actually, it's just the same as the action number 1. It will ask the user to enter the number of computer hardware that the user wants to add, and then it will do the for loop according to the size entered by the user. And then it will ask the user to enter the code, the name, brand, price, and the quantity in stock. And then it will pass all the data entered into the electronics class. And then I use, this is the difference between in the array list and linked list. I use the method insert add back here so that I can insert or add the data into the linked list. After the for loop stop, it will ask the same usual question, which is, would you like to make more action? Yes or no? And now we move to the action number 4, which is to delete item from the computer hardware. This is for the linked list. It's just same as the array list. It will ask the user to enter the index number. And then at here, I use the method remove add, so it will remove the specified element in the linked list. And then the program will print or display a message say that this item has been removed from the computer hardware list. And then the program will ask the same question again. Now we move to the action number 5, which is to display all the item and the sum, average, mean, and max. So in this action, I already declared the variable and initialize the variables. For example, I initialize the sum d. D is represent as device for the electronic device, which is the array list, and then some QTYD, which is some quantity of the d, and then the min d and the max d. In this, it will do the for loop based on the device list size, which is the array list size, and then it will get the one by one in the array list, and then it assign it at the obj, and then it casts into the electronics. This is the process to find the array list sum. So sum d equal to sum d plus this process. Sum t I already initialized it as 0. So this process, which is price multiplied with the quantity, why I do the process, so that I can find the total of all the product in the array list. I also find the quantity of the product in the array list, so that I can use this sum quantity d to find the average. This is a process to find the array list min, and this is the process to find array list max. So here, if min d more than price of the first element in the array list, and then the new min is the price of the first element. So to find the max is also same. Okay, it's just different this symbol and this symbol. This is less than. So when the max less than the price of the first element in the array list, and then the new max is equal to the price of the element in the first array list. Okay, done with that. So now this is a process to find the array list average, and this is the codes for display an array list details. Okay, now we move to the hardware list, which is the linked list. So it's just the same as the array list. What different about it? It used the get first method and get next method. And in this linked list, I use while loop, which is obj2 is not equal to null, and then it will do the same thing as the array list. And then we find the average, and then this is to display the linked list detail. After that, the program will ask the user to make more action or not, if yes or no. And then move to the action number 6. This action is to copy data from array list into linked list. So it will start with the for loop. Okay, for loop based on the loop is based on the device list dot size, which is the array list size, and then it will get the index, get the data one by one into the obj, and then it casts it into the electronics class, and then I use insert at the back method to insert the array list into the linked list. After the for loop done, then the program will print out or display message say the data from electronic device, which is the array list, has been successfully copied into the computer hardware list. And then it will ask the same question again. Now we move to the action number 7 to search item based on code. Okay, this is based on the code. Actions, we also have the action 8 here. It also search item, but it based on brand. Okay, now let's go back to the action number 7. So as you can see here, I already set the boolean found equal to false. So the log is for the index, because later on I want to show which index the data have been found. And then the program will ask the user, right, to choose which list you would like to search. Either D, that stands for electronic device, this is the array list, H for computer hardware, this is the linked list. So when the user enter, so it will check if list equal to D, the D is represented as device, which is the electronic device, and then the program will ask the user to enter the electronic device code. So the user enter and it keep it in the search variable, and then it will do the for loop based on the array list size, and then it will check. Okay, it will get one by one into the obj, and then cast it into the electronics, and then it will do the if to check whether the code equals to search, which is the code entered by the user. Okay, if true, then it will change or set the boolean found from false into true, and then the I, which is the index, will be assigned to the log variable, and then the data equal to e.toString, okay, to print the details. Okay, that's it about the array list. And then we move to the list equal to H, which is the linked list. It's just the same. It will ask the user to enter the hardware code, and then it will check based on the linked list size. Okay, it will get one by one, guess it, and then it check the code in the array list is equal or not with the code entered by the user, and then if true, and then it will found equal to true. Okay, I, and then data e.toString, and then if the user enter accept H or D code list, and then it will print out oops, invalid list code. So now we move to if found equal to true, then the program will print out the product details, and it will also display which index number that the data has been found, okay, which is we use the log, right? Else, which other words found equal to false, then it will print a message say sorry, the product code is not in the list. Now we move to the action number 8. As I said earlier, it's just same as the action number 7. Instead, it search based on the code, it search based on the brand. So it's same thing. Okay, ask the user to choose the list, either D or H, and then it do if list equal to D, and then it will ask the user, instead of code, it asks the user to enter the electronic device brand, and then it will do the for loop based on the device list size, which is the array list, and then it will get method, check one by one, and then assign it into the obj, and then cast it, and then it will do the if to check the brand in the array list is equal or not with the search, which is the brand entered by the user. If true, it will change the boolean found from false to true, and then it will set I equal to attribute log, and then data equal to e.toString. This is the array list detail, and then it just same with the linked list. What different is the hardware list, okay, size is the linked list size. So it's just same as the action number 7. And then, what if the user enter the action code beside 1 until 8? For example, the user enter 9. So, the program will display a message say, oops, you entered the wrong action codes. This is about the electronic main class. So, now I will continue to demonstrate the output. Now we continue the program to run the application. So I run at the main class. So when I click OK, it will appear a message dialog say, welcome to Electronic Hub's Inventory Management System. I click OK, and it asks me to choose the next action. As you can see here, the menu is appear here. So the program asks me to enter action code from 1 until 8. So I need to choose 1. What if I enter 9, which is not in the menu? So as you can see here, it displays a message, oops, you entered the wrong action code. And then it asks me again to enter action code. For example, I would like to enter or add item in electronic device list for the array list. So I click number 1, and then enter the number of electronic device. Okay, for example, I would like to enter or add 2 items here. So I click 2, it asks me to enter the details. As you can see, I already fill in the detail, so have 2 items, right? And then the first item code is A110, and then the second item is A111. So as you can see, it displays the message item successfully added in the electronic device list. And then the program asks me, would you like to make more action? Yes. So now let's enter the next action, which is I would like to add item in the linked list, which is in the computer hardware. So the action code for that is number 3. And as you can see, please enter the number of computer hardware. So for example, 3 items that I want to add. So now fill in the detail. As you can see, I already entered all the 3 item details, right? The first item code is A112, and then the second item is A113, and then the third item is A114. And then the program asks me either I want to make more action, and then I click yes. And then it asks me what action. And then for example, I would like to see either all the detail that we've been add is successfully in the array list and in the linked list. Okay, so now I enter action number 5. Okay, as you can see here, it appears the electronic device details successfully add. So there are 2 items that I add, okay, A110 and A111. And then as you can see here, it also displays the sum, average, lowest price, and the higher price. As you can see here, the sum is 9,000. So the price here is 2,000 multiplied with the quantity, which is 2, so it becomes 4,000. And then the price here is 2,500 multiplied with the 2, it's become 500. 500 plus 400 is become 9,000. So the calculation is true. And then for the average, 9,000 divided by the total of the quantity of the product in the electronic device is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. So 9,000 divided by 4 is become 2,250. And then the lowest price is 2,000. Yes, it's true. And the highest price is 2,500. Yes, it's true. Now we move to the linked list, which is the computer hardware detail. As you can see, we already add 3 items in the linked list. The first item is A112, the second is A113, and the third is A114. So as you can see, it also displays the sum, average, the lowest price, and the highest price. As you can see here, the sum is 700. So let's calculate it. So 100 multiplied with 2 is 200, and then 50 multiplied with 2 is 100, and then 200 multiplied with 2 is 400. So 200 plus 100 is 300, and then 400 plus with the 300 is 700, and then the calculation is true. So now 700 divided by the 6 item, 6 quantity, and then it's become the average 116.67, around that. And then the lowest price is 50 ringgit. Is it true? Yes. And the highest price is 200. Yes, it's true. Okay, now it asks me either I want to make more action. I say yes. So now let's try to use the remove method, which is to delete the item in the array list and linked list. So first we try the array list. So I choose the code 2. And then it asks me, please enter the index number of electronic device that you would like to delete. So this is the array list since it's the electronic device. So as you can see here, we have only 2 items. So now I would like to delete the second item. So it says the index number. So index start with the 0. So this is the 0 and this is the 1. So now I enter 1. As you can see, it says the item has been removed from the electronics device list. So would you like to make more action? Yes. So we done to remove item from array list. So now let's try to remove item in the linked list. So the action that I choose is the code number 4. So now it asks me to enter the index number of computer hardware, which is the linked list that you would like to delete. So as you can see here, there are 3 items here. So that means the index number starts with the 0, 1, 2. For example, I would like to delete the second item, which is number 1, index number 1. So I click enter. It says that this item has been removed from the computer hardware list. So would you like make more action? Yes. So now let's check either we successfully delete the item from the array list and linked list. So the action is number 5. Okay, as you can see here, before this, the electronic device detail have 2 items. So now it's become 1 item. Okay, let's scroll up here. As you can see here, from 2 items, and the sum is 9,000. Now it's become 4,000. Okay, the sum, and it's only have 1 item. So as you can see here, in the computer hardware details, before this it have 3 items. Now it have become 2 items only. So as you can see here, the item only have A112 and A114. As you can see here, the sum number also have changed from 700 to 6,000. And then the lowest is 50 and the highest is 200. So now the lowest is 100 and the highest is 200. So that means that the method is successfully delete the item in the array list and linked list. So now let's make more action. Yes. So now I would like to copy the data from the array list to the linked list. So the action is number 6. As you can see, data from electronic device array list has been successfully copied into computer hardware list. So would you like to make more action? Yes. So now let's see. So action number 5, enter. As you can see here, this is the linked list. Okay, now it's copied into the computer hardware details. So the computer hardware detail have 3 items now. Okay, the sum also different, and then the average also different, and then the highest price changed to 2,000 now. Okay, before this it is 200. Okay, that means we successfully copied from array list to linked list. So now would you like to make another action? Yes. So now we will proceed to search item based on, we have 2, first based on code, second based on the brand. So first based on the code first. For example, we would like to search the A112 in the computer hardware details. Okay, let's see. Okay, we want to computer hardware, right? So it H, and then enter the code. The code is A112. Is it true? Yes, 112. Enter. Then as you can see, the product code is in the list at index 0. Okay, it's display the product detail and where the product have been found. So at number 0. Index number 0. Is it true? Yes, at the index number 0. So now let's try to find, let's more action and find code. Okay, now let's try the electronic device first. Okay, let's see D, and then what the device code for D, which is electronic device, is A110. Let's try that. A110. As you can see, the product code is in the list at index number 0. It's also appear at the number 0, so it's true. And then we'd like to make another yes. So let's try based on brand. Okay, so now action number 8. As you can see here, would like to search. Okay, now let's try search let's look up here in the computer hardware, which is we will choose H, and then we would like to see the brand Radeon. Okay, H brand. Okay, enter the brand Radeon, enter. As you can see here, it's found the product details, and it also said the product brand is in the list at index number 1. Is it true? Let's see. Yes, it's true. As you can see, this is the index number 0, this is index number 1. Okay, it's true. Okay, so now let's try to stop the program. Okay, when we want to stop the program, we just click end here, and then the program is terminated. That's all from me. Thank you.